For anyone who's ever wistfully daydreamed of being imbued with elite secret agent skills, and I assume that's all of us, Jason Bourne has got to be one of the ultimate heroes. And now, the Bourne franchise has come to video game, and we can, at last, play our favourite lethal amnesiac in Robert Ludlum's The Bourne Conspiracy. Now this summer, we've seen a number of pretty dire movie tie-in games, but thankfully, The Bourne Conspiracy breaks that trend and gives us a game that's actually competent and worth something in its own right. First up, it's not strictly a movie tie-in, but rather more of a companion piece. The plot mostly occurs in line with that of the Bourne identity, and the game recreates some of the key sequences from the film, but it also adds original story to the canon of films in flashback levels, which reveal more of Bourne's past.
Hello.
Code in.
Bourne 15073.
Your cover is blown. Wombosi's leaving port in an hour. He sent an assassin named O'Connor to kill you. You have to leave tonight.
Also, Matt Damon was not involved, and so the hero of the game has his own, well, identity. There's still a strong association with the films though, and a high quality one at that, with Bourne screenwriter Tony Gilroy working on story and character, and Bourne fight coordinator Jeff Imada co-designing the combat system. The hand-to-hand combat is really good. There'll be a small cutscene to initiate a scuffle, and then you take over with a series of 2-button attack combos, charged attacks, and blocks. These have been nicely choreographed and animated, and it's a joy to see a character doing more unusual things like using his elbows or blocking and dodging skillfully. As well as your health, you have an adrenaline gauge in blue, which when filled to a certain level allows you to perform various takedown moves, which are shown in a cutscene. Now this really captures the Bourne fighting style and often incorporates bits of nearby scenery for a truly vicious end. And if you let your adrenaline charge higher, you can take down multiple opponents at the same time. The AI is quite good, fighting skillfully and avoiding your attacks if you use the same combo too often. The only gripe is that sometimes Bourne's responses to button presses feel a little slow, and sometimes enemies will wait to take turns to attack you, which feels a bit unrealistic. Shooting isn't bad, although a zoom would have helped, and accuracy is sometimes questionable. The action sequences are fun and reasonably imaginative, requiring you to do things like distracting helicopters by blowing shit up and faking your own death. There are also interactive moments in some of the action cutscenes, where everything will slow down and you have to quickly press certain randomly chosen buttons within a time limit for Bourne to successfully complete a particularly skillful move, such as dodging bullets or a last-minute dive over railings, or in melee, avoiding an opponent's takedown. These are pretty cool and a very appropriate way to simulate Bourne's hyper-awareness and reaction speed. Now, as gamers don't always have the intuition of a highly trained, and indeed fictional, assassin, a Bourne Instinct button has been incorporated into the game. It costs a little adrenaline to use, but will highlight enemies and give you waypoints to keep you on track. In terms of graphics, this isn't bad looking at all, although there is a bit of clipping and stuttering from time to time. The audio is strong, with good music and solid voice acting, but movement can both look and feel a bit cumbersome. And there are some other annoyances. I'm playing the PS3 version, which took 12 minutes to install, but still has pretty long load times. Now it's also frustrating that for a character whose success is based on intelligence and adaptability as much as combat skills, that the game is so linear, and a lot of the environment purely scenery. But all in all, this is not a bad outing, and it's certainly worth at least a rental if you're a fan of the films. A very respectable 3 stars.